They told you to be humble. They told you to play small. They told you that if you just acted normal, people would finally accept you. But you tried that, and it nearly killed you. Here is the truth no one had the courage to tell you. You were never designed to fit in. That hollow ache in your chest at every party, that exhaustion after pretending to care about gossip, that rage when someone says you think you're better than us, that is not a defect. That is a signal. Your loneliness is not a weakness. It is proof you were chosen. When you feel rejected by a group, your brain screams danger. Go back, conform. That is 200,000 years of evolution, because in the tribe, exile meant death. But here is the 21st century update. The tribe is sick. If you feel different around people who never question their own beliefs, who trade their dreams for a bi-weekly paycheck, who laugh at jokes they do not even understand just to belong, then your rejection is actually a filter. Your nervous system is physically repelled by inauthenticity. That is not weakness. That is your soul having an immune response. The chosen ones are not the ones who endure the most. They are the ones who leave the fastest when the energy is wrong. Most people break because they internalize the outsider story. I am weird. I am too much. I am broken. But listen carefully. The story is not the problem. The ownership of the story. Carl Jung said the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But no one tells you that becoming yourself will feel like a war, because you have to kill the version of you that was built to please others. When you feel different, you have two choices. 1. Fix yourself to fit into a broken puzzle. Or 2. Realize you are not a puzzle piece at all. You are a whole new shape. Chosen ones choose door 2. And door 2 is lonely for a reason. If everyone could walk through it, it would not be a door. It would be a hallway. Your loneliness is not abandonment. It is quarantine. You are being isolated so you cannot catch the virus of mediocrity. Neuroscience shows that highly creative, highly intuitive people have what is called a leaky sensory gating system. That means you do not just hear the conversation, you hear the emotion behind the conversation. You do not just see the room, you see who is lying, who is performing, who is dying inside. And that is exhausting, because you feel everything. But here's the upgrade. That same leakiness is what allows you to see solutions others cannot. You can sense a toxic relationship 3 months before the blow-up. You can write, paint, create things that make people ask, how did you even think of that? You did not learn it. You received it. So stop begging to turn down the volume. You are not too sensitive. You are a radar system in a world that wants to fly blind. Let us go somewhere uncomfortable. The reason you feel different started before you could talk. Your family, your school, your first friends gave you a script for who you should be. You are too loud. Why can't you be more like your cousin? Stop asking so many questions. And you believed them. So you built a false self. What psychologists call the adapted child. You learned to smile when you were dying, to say fine when you were breaking. But here is the betrayal. They were never teaching you to be good. They were teaching you to be convenient. And a chosen one is never convenient. The moment you stop performing the role they assigned you, they will call you arrogant, selfish, lost. That is not a criticism. That is the sound of a cage door opening. You were never meant to fit into their story. You were meant to burn it down and write your own. Every chosen one goes through what mystics call the dark night of the soul. You lose the job. The relationship implodes. Friends disappear. And you are left in a room with no one but the voice in your head saying, see, you are alone because you are unlovable. But that is the lie. The dark night is not punishment. It is ego deflation surgery. When everything external is stripped away, your titles, your people, your masks, what remains? Either you collapse, or you meet your soul for the first time. The chosen ones who make it are the ones who stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this happening for?" It is happening to kill your need for approval. It is happening to starve your people pleasing. It is happening so that when you rise free. Repeat after me: isolation is not rejection. It is incubation. When you feel excluded, most people spiral into shame. But watch what the chosen one does. They take that empty space and fill it with intention. Mozart did not compose surrounded by crowds. Tesla did not invent in a party. Every breakthrough in human history was born in a period of withdrawal. So ask yourself, what have you been too distracted to hear? What has the noise of fitting in drowned out? Maybe you feel different because you are supposed to build something different. Maybe you feel alone because you are being called to lead, and leaders always walk ahead of the parade. If you are in a season of no invitations, no callbacks, no likes, that is not a dry spell, that is a foundry, and they are about to pour gold. Let me give you 3 psychological levers. Lever 1, refrain different as rare. Social psychology calls this reappraisal. When you feel weird, say to yourself, "I am not broken. I am unpurchasable." Rare things are not for everyone. They are for the one who recognizes their value. Lever 2, use anti-fragile validation. You do not need everyone to get you. You need one true mirror. Find that one person or your future self who sees you, and anchor your worth there. The mob's opinion becomes irrelevant. Lever 3, convert envy into direction. When you feel jealous of people who fit in, ask yourself, do I want their life, or do I just want their relief? You do not need to belong, you need to matter. And mattering is not popularity. Mattering is impact. Go make impact. The greatest psychological mistake of the chosen one is trying to hide their strangeness. But think about every icon you love. Bob Dylan's voice was wrong, now it is iconic. Frida Kahlo's unibrow was ugly, now it is art. Your too much energy, your dark humor, your random obsessions, that is not a bug. That is your signature. When you stop hiding, 2 things happen. 1, people who need exactly what you have will find you. 2, people who do not will leave, and you will stop bleeding energy trying to keep them. The question is not how do I fit in, it is who am I when I stop pretending, and the answer will terrify you, because it is bigger than you ever allowed yourself to imagine. They did not want you, so you left. You healed, you sharpened yourself in silence, and now you return, but not for revenge, not to prove them wrong. You return because your gift is needed. The people who rejected you were not enemies. They were gates. Their rejection pushed you onto the path you were always meant to walk. Now when you walk into a room, you do not ask for permission. You do not shrink. You observe. You choose. You act. And the strangest thing happens. The same people who rejected you now want your attention. But you do not need it anymore, because you have learned the final lesson. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out so clearly that others use your light to find their own way home. That is not arrogance. That is responsibility. Now no more theory. Here is your 30-day protocol to embody this truth. Week 1, the morning. Allow yourself to grieve the belonging you never had. Write this down. I wish they had accepted me, but I will not betray myself to earn it. Week 2, the audit. Remove 3 people or environments that make you code switch, and replace that time with solitude plus a creative project. Week 3, the declaration. Every morning say aloud, I am different by design. What the tribe rejects, history rewards. Week 4, the offering. Share one weird thing about you publicly, a poem, an idea, or way of dressing. Watch who resonates. Those are your real people. Do this, and by day 30, you will not just feel different, you will be grateful for it. The world will try to put you back in the box every day, but boxes are for shipments, not for souls. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand alone so completely that loneliness becomes a myth, because you realize you were always in the company of your purpose. You are chosen, not because you are better, because you are braver. Now stop begging to belong. Start building what only you can. I will see you at the top, alone together,